Hi there, beautiful people. Welcome again to another video in my channel. It's been a while, but I'm excited to be back. So, in my innate knowledge, I guess, I decided to have a little bit of a conversation about healthy relationships and unhealthy ones. I I'm always meeting people, and even I myself, we've been accustomed to certain things in our lives, and we have our parents, and we have our friends, and our siblings, and there are a lot of things that we're not really aware of when it comes to what's healthy and what's unhealthy for us. Yeah. I have a little bit of notes, so no worries. Um, when we think of unhealthy relationships, sometimes we go to the crazy extreme of violence and actual abuse, and we forget what's in the middle of healthy and completely toxic, which is the unhealthy part. Yeah. So, worst thing about our adult life is that as soon as we get to maybe 18 for some of us, and for some of us even a lot younger, we start being interested in relationships either with people of the same gender who are friends or people of a different gender, and we start putting so much basis on these relationships. But the worst thing is that we haven't been accustomed, we haven't been taught, we haven't been told what should we look out for, what should we know is healthy or unhealthy. So I was talking to my 6-year-old the other day, and I really wanted him to, I want him to have a know-how on what exactly is right and what isn't right when it comes to our relationships with people. And this can be some of the most well-meaning people in our lives who are unable to give us a clean response in terms of health and lack of it. Yeah. So I came up with about 5 things that I think are complete no-nos in what you want to consider a healthy relationship, and they are red flags in terms of determining what an unhealthy relationship is. Um, the first thing is an intense amount of affection, right? And this could be from dating, this could even be our friends. I'm not limiting this to dating, I'm even talking about even our parents, right? Um, it's just an extensive amount of overflow in terms of the emotions that they feel for us. And sometimes, let's say, like you thinking about a romantic relationship, you met this person yesterday, and the next day they're like, you know what, I love you, I can't imagine living my life without you. And the thing about also this intense affection is that it's not mutual. It's you feel excited because it's amazing to feel loved, but you're like, I just met you yesterday, I just met you yesterday. How are we this close as friends? How are we this close in a relationship? You don't even know me yet. Get to know me first, right? So that is a red flag when it comes to an unhealthy situation, because a healthy situation should just have the right amount of time and the right amount of comfort for both parties, in that it's also not something that is extensive. If you've known this person for so long and they still act like you're a stranger, but I'm saying it has this beauty of just, it takes its own time and you feel comfortable enough in it, because also this intense affection, it will cause you to feel overwhelmed and exhausted, and that is a sign that it's not healthy. Second thing is belittling, and it's something that we need to teach our children really early. I am very anti anybody saying something that isn't positive towards my son. Even when it comes, I try to phrase things in the most positive way. I'm not saying I'm at a perfect level. Trust me, even for professionals, they're still at a little bit of a, back, like there's still mistakes. We still don't do everything appropriately and right. But even when somebody makes, like, let's say my son is trying to get his composure to say something, and somebody goes like, oh no, he's so shy, and I'm like, no, do not give my son labels that aren't positive or affirming. And that's the same thing I want to do even for my next baby, is that a healthy relationship has that. It's got to be positive and it's got to be affirming. So if it's bringing in the whole belittling and trying to make you feel like you're not good enough and trying to make you feel like, you know what, yeah, 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 but you're not all that. Yeah, 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 but you're kind of fat, or you're kind of not pretty. If it's doing all those things to you, if it's belittling you and it's not making you feel fully, even friendships, if they're not making you feel like built up and just affirmed and beautiful and talented and cared for, and it's not positively affirming every single thing that you want to believe about yourself, then it's not a healthy relationship. The third thing is extreme jealousy, and I put the word extreme because I want to say jealousy isn't necessarily an unhealthy habit. Naturally, we love what we love, and we're kind of, like, I don't want anybody else, to kind of be your favorite. I kind of want to be your everything. No lie, right? It's a natural expression of love. Our friends, we tend to think, yeah, she's my best friend and nobody else is her best friend, okay? But extreme jealousy is when this starts becoming something more than just, it's a tiny little, feeling, I don't know if I'm being very clear. It goes to the extreme when somebody maybe takes your phone and is like, who are you talking to? Why are you talking to these people? No, I don't expect you to be talking to anybody but me. You know what? If you keep talking to other people, this is what I'm going to do. You get? And it's so manipulative, and the jealousy is it's very annoying and it's very confusing. So when it becomes to an extreme level, a healthy amount of jealousy is just common in any relationship when it comes to us loving other people, but an extreme amount of it is very unhealthy. Okay, so that's also a red flag if somebody is extremely jealous. Number four, boundaries, are they respected? And this is the thing, I'm trying. It's really hard, especially when your kids are younger, because you also have to instruct them and you need to find a really huge balance. But there's something I also realized that I really needed to understand, is that even as small as my son is, he's got to have a mind of his own, and he's got to have things that make him uncomfortable, and I just have to respect that. Okay, if he isn't feeling his mommy hug in the morning, I try to be. He never misses to give me those yet, but I'm just saying, for example. But that's the thing, is that healthy boundaries, are your boundaries being respected? When you say no, is it just a whole moment of manipulation and trying to convince you to do what they want you to do, right? Or is it that you feel, catered for, and you feel like you can express yourself in terms of saying, you know what, this I'm not a big fan of. Please allow me to do this much, and with also consideration for the other person. So healthy boundaries, the fact that you are also respecting people's boundaries. I talk about boundaries a lot because I really, really, really respect people's boundaries. You've got to tell me where I've got to come to and how much I've got to love you, and I'm just going to give you exactly that. All right, and I really encourage a lot more people to do that. In terms, when I tell you, I'm not a huge texter, so maybe don't bombard me with texts. And you just got to understand that, because that's just the type of person this person is, right? Um, Another thing that is, I think, is probably going to be my last one, the fifth one, in terms of an unhealthy relationship and how to know if your relationship is healthy. It's got to be void of volatility. And this is something that it worries me sometimes when it comes to different relationships. Like, we're either real good or real bad. And there doesn't seem to be a middle point where we just, we chill. And volatility is just, you can't really predict even where this person is gonna come from. But 1 minute you guys are just, you're on highs and you're on complete highs, and then as soon as their feelings get hurt, or as soon as they feel like they're not comfortable enough about something, instead of communicating it, it's now a complete low. It's now, this is the worst thing ever, and they don't want to end the relationship, or now you're no longer friends, and all those things. And that's how you know that this is not healthy for me. This is not what a healthy relationship looks like. It's gotta have, the boring parts. It's got to have some midpoint to it where we can just sit down, and we don't have to either be having an incredible amount of love and bombarding with so much intense emotion, and then the next minute it's just so much negative emotion. There's got to be a midpoint where there's just nice peaceful joy. Okay, so these 5 points, I hope they've helped somebody and have helped you. Definitely share this video with other people who could be interested in this type of information, and definitely give me a like at the end of this video. Now that it's ended, leave a comment, tell me your experiences with relationships, because I'm talking about everything from your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your siblings, your relationship with your friends, your spouses or your lovers, and all that stuff. Just have you just gone through this checklist and gone like, oh, yeah, there might be a little bit of an issue here. These issues, they just need, most of them just need communicating and just letting it be known, to be clear. But also sometimes there could be a really huge indication that whatever you are in is not healthy at all, and you need to, figure out a type of system to kind of get you out of it. Yeah, so I hope this was definitely very helpful. I love you guys, and God loves you a lot more than I could even I could even love you. And so God bless you and have an amazing time. Thank you for watching.